I just recently made one of the best decisions of my life, and it has been life altering in so many different ways. It has changed my marriage, my parenting, work, and my moods. It has changed the way I feel. I can get up earlier in the morning. I am sleeping better, and everything has just been a little bit lighter and more enjoyable in life. I want to share with you what I have done and what I have shifted in order for this to take place. So I went to go see an alternative medicine doctor, and I know you're like, okay, cool, why are we talking about all of this? Why listen to me? Because I'm not a doctor, and that is not my area at all. But I want to encourage you to watch this because I can give you a perspective that is mine personally. I'm sharing this not because of something that I'm gaining from it, but because I hope that so many people out there will really be able to feel better about themselves and feel better about who they are and feel better throughout their days and being able to just enjoy life a little bit more. So many people are just suffering with so many things. I mean, we want to talk about anxiety, depression, hormone imbalances, all those different things. So I'm going to share with you what my experience was, why I decided to go see a holistic medicine doctor, the kinds of things that they were testing me for, the kind of things that they put me on, and the supplements. You hear my littles in the background? Sorry. What kind of supplements they have put me on. Did I say how much it costs? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that because I know it's expensive, but I'm telling you, it is so worth it. I'm gonna walk you through why I decided to do it. I have only made these shifts within the last 4 weeks, but let me tell you, it has been wonderful, to be honest. I didn't realize how crappy I felt until I actually started feeling better. And I think that's a story for so many people. So join me and let's jump in. Hello, if you are new here, my name is Sierra McDowell, and this is really cool stuff. And I'm so excited and so passionate about sharing this because I think that this is what a lot of people need to be addressing. And I have been literally telling all of my friends, all of my family, everyone's jumping on board because they've seen the difference in me. And I want to be able to share that with other people. So that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. I am not a doctor. And I feel like I just need to keep saying that because I don't want anyone like coming back at me and being like, yo, what were you talking about? Whatever. I'm just solely telling you my experience. So I decided to go see a holistic doctor because I like to say like I'm a relatively healthy person, but it's really bad. All of you crunchy people are gonna be like, what the heck is wrong with you? But like every once in a while, I really do enjoy some good old Taco Bell. And you know what? I'm all right with that. So regardless, I try to be somewhat of a healthy person because I just think those things are important, and it's important to take care of our bodies because, you know, that's what we live in. So I try to do the best that I can with also, you know, giving myself some grace because I'm not perfect. But I decided to go see a holistic medicine doctor because I have IBS, I have ADHD. Some mornings I just wake up and throw up. I used to pass out a lot in my teens, and they would say it was one thing, really was something else. Now I'm finally understanding that. And I also have struggled with my first child. I struggled with postpartum anxiety. That was really a hard season for me. So then I started this whole, you know, this journey of taking care of your gut microbiome and all those different things. It was great. I worked with a supplement company that I thought was wonderful, to be honest, and I still back a lot of their things. Then we brought home our sweet boy from Colombia, and I literally just stopped taking care of myself. I don't even know what happened. I think like everything was just so crazy that I stopped addressing some of these things that were happening inside of me. I was not okay in a lot of ways. I was really suffering and struggling, and I didn't even realize how bad it was until I started actually feeling better, which I think is what happens with a lot of people, especially mamas out there, because, you know, we're busy, we got things going on, we're doing all this stuff, and we don't have time to not feel good. We don't have time to not want to function. We have to just keep on going, you know, strap up those boots and just keep moving. But what happens is you start to just take that as your new normal and just stepping into, all right, well, this is just the way that I'm going to feel. I was realizing that 2 weeks out of the month, I literally was a monster. So when I say monster, I was like angry, very, very angry. You know, there's just a whole lot of things to that. So I will link down in the description below what it is like to have PMDD. So I decided to go to an alternative medicine doctor to see what they could do. I didn't want to go on birth control. My body does not like that stuff. I don't know why. If you're on it, nothing against it. I just don't do well on it. I also just didn't want to start introducing all of these different supplements that I didn't really know if I was going to need. So I wanted to find something that was going to be more solely focused on what my direct body needs, because everyone was suffering. And when I mean everyone, I mean like my marriage was having a little bit of a hard time. My kids were terrified of me and I hated myself. So yeah, watch the PMDD video and then we'll just kind of keep moving on from there. Can you tell? I want everyone to go and do this, especially like in my line of work, what I do for my day job. I work with a lot of women. I work with a lot of people and I hear a lot about their life and as a whole and in general. I'm just seeing so many women in particularly just suffering with like, I just don't have joy in my life and I just don't feel well, and just seeing a lot of this stuff now that I'm understanding is, yep, you can work through things mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but there's this physical side to things that is so crucial that unless if you really address that, then everything else is just kind of not going to go into sync. Like we are a triangle, right? Like, is that a good triangle? We are a triangle. We have our soul, right? Our mind, our will, and our emotions. We have our spirit. We are all spiritual beings. And then we have our physical body. And we need to keep this triangle functioning and every part working well because we're designed that way. And so when something starts to fail us, or if something starts to, you know, kind of get a little screwed up with, then it affects all of them. Because say I am struggling mentally, that is not a triangle anymore, and it is going to affect the other two areas. And then we are not functioning as a full triangle. They all affect one another, our spirit, our soul, and our physical body. So everything needs to be addressed. Everything needs to be looked at. Everything needs to be focused in on for us to be the best version of ourselves. Okay, I feel like I just got a little preachy and a little teachy, but I'm gonna reel it back. Okay, you go in, first thing is, you know, all the vitals. They take, you know, extensive history. We're there for like an hour or two. You're like, okay, cool, now what? So I got sent home with 2 different spit tests, a urine sample, so much blood work, but my goodness, the results are so cool because after you get all of that done and you go and you sit down with that doctor, they're going to explain things about you that you know about yourself, but no one else really knows, and that you also just kind of thought was normal because you've been dealing with it for so long that you just kind of just kept going with it. And then you realize, oh, we can do something about this. And that is the best part, and it is so cool. So let me show you some of the things that what they worked through with me. Okay, so like I said, they tested me for all sorts of different things. They like went over so much blood work because they're thorough. Some of the things that they test for are your cholesterol, do your HSCRP, creatine, sodium, your calcium, hemoglobin, your blood sugar, with bilirubin, they check your protein levels, thyroid, testosterone, your estrogen. I mean, there's like so many things. I'm just going over some of them. Check to see if you're premenopausal, your DHEA, sulfate. So they also test to see if your body's more acidic or if it is more alkaline, because, you know, cancer doesn't live in an alkaline body. Unfortunately, I was a little bit more acidic than I wanted to be, but we'll address that. Check your magnesium, your copper, your vitamin D, vitamin B, your sex hormone binding, which I really don't even know what that is. Zinc, iodine, your B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's just what they were doing for the blood work. And then we got this nice thing right here, which was one of my spit tests. So this is where, you know, we are seeing like where my hormones are and that I'm producing too much or not enough in certain areas. And so I wasn't ready for exactly what this test came up with, which I was so excited because this is what I have seen such a difference in, and I didn't even realize I need to be addressing. So this is the one where I was spitting into a tube for a 24-hour period, and I was shocked and so excited and pumped. They check your serotonin, your GABA, your dopamine, your norepinephrine, epinephrine, glutamate, PEA, and so they check that throughout the day to see where your levels are. They actually give you even like this diagram right here where you can see like where your levels are throughout the day, and if they are dropping or rising in the way that they should be. Got all of that done. Then I went back for another appointment and she went through everything step by step. And so nice just having someone that spends like literally 2 hours going through every single thing in order to come up with a plan on what to do to address that issue. Because also these things that were going on with my system were also affecting my sleep and why I can't fall asleep at night and feeling drained and tired. So this stuff is literally like gold. It changes your life because your body will finally feel like the way that you want it to. All right, so I'm gonna show you some of the pills that I take and how many I am taking right now. So what we found out is that I have PMDD, which I've already mentioned. This was why I went in there, because I couldn't live as a crazy person anymore. So we got this sweet little gem. This is progesterone, right? So this is wonderful because it is a compound medicine. And why this is so cool is because it doesn't have all the things like a regular birth control. This is not a birth control. I was producing too much testosterone. Yeah, right, okay. So for 2 weeks out of the month, I take one of these gems. I'm excited to see where this journey takes me. Then she discovered all these other things where it was my other hormones were just a little wonky, and I had very low serotonin, very low dopamine, GABA, and cortisol levels. She was explaining to me some of these things about cortisol levels, and I thought that because of like my past, and they always say also with trauma, it affects your cortisol levels. So if you have had any trauma in your history, which most of us have, then checking your cortisol levels is so important. You know that fight, flight, or freeze response? Well, that's what governs that part of who you are. And so when we were talking about my low cortisol levels, she was explaining to me some of the things that I would be struggling with. My body didn't know how to fight or flight. So what my body was really doing is freezing, because what happens is, from my understanding, is that when you have had so much cortisol pumped through your body stops breaking it down, producing it right. If I'm wrong on this, please correct me. I'm just trying to, help a sister out. So that was causing actually a lot of issues. When I was younger and I would pass out, they always said that it was hypoglycemia. In reality, I actually don't have that at all. It was because my body didn't know how to handle stress. I am telling you, since I have made these altercations in my life and I have introduced some things that my body needs, I cannot even explain to you the difference I have seen. So here, all of this are the good old supplements I am taking right now. And I know it looks like a lot because it is. I will not be on all of this forever. But I did say that there was a host of different things going on. So some things are for PMDD, some things are for the adrenal dysfunction, and other things that my body was lacking in. So these are what I'm taking for the adrenal dysfunction. This is what I started on about 4 weeks ago. And this, my friend, is literally gold. I have more energy. I am sleeping better. I am waking up in the morning better, and I just feel light. I was depressed. Okay, I gotta be light with that. Not necessarily depressed, but not feeling well. I was walking around like that for a while, and I honestly was going to continue walking around that way, just thinking it's because I'm a tired mom, not because there's things that I could actually do about it. I will share with you in the description down below what I am taking, and I will share links with you so you can look at them. But that is not for you to bypass going to a doctor and figuring this stuff out for yourself, because your body might need something different. I'm very serious about this. Part of me doesn't even know if I should share it. So then my body was also lacking in iron. I've known this for years, but I did not realize how badly it was affecting me. And part of my PMDD and part of the stuff that was going on, my periods were like no joke. And so I would take, iron during that time, and then I would kind of stop when my period ended. But my body was just deficient overall. So one of the things that I do for that right now, and also to get a host of other vitamins so that I don't need to continue to replenish what my body was like draining in and suffering from and not having, is I take raw liver. Yep, I go to the butcher, I get grass-fed, grass-finished liver, and I cut it up in tiny pieces, I stick it in the freezer, and I take it like a pill. Honestly, that cuts back on supplement costs a lot. Like these ones, some of these I'm not gonna need to take forever because I'm taking the liver, and because I'm just like fixing what my body has been depleted in recently. Some of these things, like everyone's taking vitamin D, but if you're taking vitamin D, you gotta be taking a K. I didn't know that, so I was pretty much just wasting my money. And this is why you need to go and make sure you're getting what you need. Sorry. So with all of these different things that were going on and the combination of them coming together, it was not fun. I share this because there's so many of you out there that are just accepting this. And I don't want you to do that anymore. Because especially like you're a mom, you have a superpower. One of your superpowers are like you set the tone of the house. If you're not able to do that because you don't feel well, but have just excused it all away, it's affecting everyone in your home. So the downside, what everyone complains about in seeing a holistic medicine doctor, I get it. And that is the cost. For where I went, and if you're interested, I can definitely share that. I'm here in Jersey, so I mean, if you're not near me, then that's not gonna help you. It was initially $300 for the first visit, an hour and a half. Then I got the blood work done, insurance covered that. I did 2 different saliva tests and they were $150 each. And then the urine sample was covered by insurance. Second visit was almost $200. And then I spent about $200 on supplements. And I know that sounds like completely outrageous, but think about the things that you are already doing to take care of yourself, but you don't necessarily think that they're working, or they actually aren't working. Because I was, getting all these other things, trying to make myself feel better, and then doing some therapy shopping because, makes me feel better and get that rush. If it is really a priority, then you're going to do it because it's worth it, and you will see the effects of it in such a positive way. And like I'm telling you, to go and to do this. I speak to so many women struggling with anxiety and depression, but are like pretending that they don't and that their hormones are out of whack. They talk to me about it and we can get so far, and it is a beautiful thing, and there is healing that takes place. But then at the same time, there's some things that we're just not gonna be able to get to because we're targeting it the wrong way, and their body needs to be targeted and addressing it. When you work with a compound pharmacist, it's not covered by insurance, unfortunately, because this is not synthetic. It is coming from yams versus synthetic, which is pushed out by the pharmaceutical companies, which work with our insurance companies. And I am not hating on healthcare system. It has saved my life. It has saved my children's life. It has saved ones that I love. And I am appreciative of doctors. I am appreciative of what they have offered us. I am appreciative of medicine. I never want to speak illy of any of those kinds of things. But I do think sometimes here in America, we are so focused on addressing things one way versus getting a fuller picture of what is actually taking place. And it's unfortunate because it's expensive and we don't all have the money to do it. And I totally understand and respect that because it is a sacrifice. Like, there's things that we need to give up in order to make this happen. You could even ask your primary doctor, like, I need all the works done, versus just putting band-aids on things and not really addressing the root issue. They might work with you and help you in that. And that would be a wonderful thing. Best of both worlds at that point. What I'm telling you, that this is where we need to go. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Reach out because I will do my best in doing what I can to answer them. Like I said, I am not a doctor, okay? But I will do my best in helping you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can see more videos like this and we can keep hanging out. I have also added in the description down below my PMDD video and some of the things that I am doing and taking that have helped me. But if you decide to go see a holistic doctor after you have watched this, please tell me your experience. Do your research, find a good one. Please let me know what happened. Please let me know what took place and if you feel like it was worth it or not for you. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.